like to call the meeting to order. We have this evening Troop 496 to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Will you stand as they present the flag?
Halt. Color guard right face. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Color guard right face.
I'd like to thank leaders, Scoutmaster Tom Feeney. I'm going to give your names as you're leaving. Anna Guerra, Senior Patrol Leader Cypress Benedetti, Star Scout Orem Benedetti, Assistant Senior Patrol Leader Pedro Munez, Assistant Patrol Leader Noah Shore. Thank you very much, gentlemen. All those badges are very impressive. They're doing a good job, and I even got interviewed for their citizenship badge, so that was very nice. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Mayor Paul.
Here.
Vice Mayor Whitman.
Here.
Councilmember Hatton.
Here.
Councilmember Starkey.
Here.
Councilmember Lewis.
Here.
Mr. Lamack. Mr. Lewis. Mr. Holstein. Mr. Weinthal. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. The first part of the first meeting of every month is set aside for public comments. Speakers will not be limited to the number of topics. However, discussion will not be permitted on any item on the agenda for a public hearing. Speakers may speak on the items on tonight's agenda when the item is announced pursuant to the present policy. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes to address town council. We usually go by row, since there's nobody in the first row and nobody in the second row. Is there anybody that would like to speak tonight? Oh, my goodness. Seeing none, we'll close the public comments then and go right on to our illustrious guest who's making a presentation tonight, our property appraiser, Marty Kew.
Hello.
How y'all doing?
Good. We're great.
Excellent. Well, first I want to say congratulations to everybody up here. I have to say I was so thrilled. I cannot think of a more finer group of five people to get elected unopposed. I think it is awesome. And truthfully, at the end of the day, when you're elected unopposed, I think that shows a few things. It shows that the people of the town of Davie are exceptionally happy with the service that they provide. They love their elected officials, and it also shows that everybody up here has done an exemplary job. So thank you very, very much, and a big congratulations. And before I talk about this, one other thing I just want to quickly mention. I just want to give a big shout out to your paramedics. There was an issue recently, and I have to tell you, they are such an incredible group of people. They work so hard. They're very caring and understanding. And again, that's just a testament to this wonderful, wonderful town. With that said, thank you very much, Madam Mayor, for allowing me to come today. I promise I won't take up too much of your time. I just wanted to talk about a few things today, if that's okay. The first is I was hoping to talk about how our office can help the town of Davie public. I wanted to talk about where property values are, and as you'll see, property values in the town of Davie are skyrocketing just like everywhere else in Broward County. And then I wanted to quickly talk about something that's very near and dear to my heart, and that is my Owner Alert program, which is designed to protect people from title fraud. But before I do that, I do want to give a massive, humongous shout out to who I think is the best city manager in Broward County, and that is Rick Lamack. Just a wonderful guy. And I have to tell you, his staff is so easy to work with. Every single day, they're providing us permits so we can make sure we capture all the value that we need. He does a great job. But with that said, for the residents of the town, there are a number of different functions that our office provides. The first one is we determine the value of every piece of property in Broward County for tax purposes, whether it's residential, commercial, tangible personal property, or centrally assessed property, which are railroads. And the reason that's important is because when people pay their property taxes, the amount of taxes they pay is a relationship between the value of the property that we set and the tax rate set by the town of Davie, the Broward County Commission, the school board, and all other taxing authorities. And so the most important thing we want to do in our office is get it right. And Broward County, as you know, is a big place. More people live here than 13 states, the District of Columbia, and all U.S. territories except Puerto Rico. It is big. And there are more parcels that we appraise than many states. And even though the people in our office do a very, very good job and their assessments are accurate, mistakes can occur, or maybe somebody in the town has information about their property that we don't have that they can provide to us that maybe might give us the opportunity to bring down their market value, which could bring down their assessed value, which could bring down their property taxes. So I always tell everybody, please go on our website at bcpa.net, type in your name, your address, look at your property record card, and if you're concerned with the value of your property, give me a call. You can call me by September 19th. You can email me by September 19th. You can go to one of our events by September 19th so we can take a look at your property and make sure the value is correct and will be reflected accurately in your tax bill come November. The second that we do, and this is what I love most about my job, is we give tax-saving exemptions to people that qualify. And there are a lot of exemptions under Florida law that people qualify for. The most important one, as you know, is the homestead exemption. If somebody lives here in the town of Davie, it's where they're registered to vote. If they don't vote, where their declaration of domiciled, where their car is registered to. If this is where they raise their family, they get a homestead exemption. What that basically means is at the beginning, $50,000 of value is taken off the tax roll they don't pay taxes on. Can save them $800, $900, maybe $1,000 a year at the beginning, but it really protects them going forward because every single year after they have the homestead exemption, the value of their tax line cannot go up more than a maximum of 3%, and you'll see that is so important right now because, as I said before, property values are skyrocketing in the town of Davie because people are coming from all over the country. They're coming to Davie, they're paying top dollar for properties, and they are really driving values up. So if there's any Davie resident that is not homesteaded, but you lived on your property on January 1st of 2022, please contact me by September 19th so we can apply the homestead exemption to you. That means that the value of your tax time will not go up more than 3%, and it won't skyrocket with the market value because of what's happening with the market. After that, there are so many other exemptions. There are exemptions for seniors, for veterans, for widows, for people who are disabled. There are many exemptions. I always tell everybody, go on our website at bcpa.net, click on exemptions, and if there's something you're not getting, again, contact me by September 19th. The other thing I wanted to quickly talk about was right now is such a good time for me to come and speak because every single resident of the town of Davie received a document from me in the mail, the TRIM notice, the Truth and Millage Notice. It's not a tax bill. It's basically a document so people can make sure they don't overly pay in their property taxes, and it says all the things I just spoke about. It shows the value of their property for tax purposes, all the tax-saving exemptions they're currently getting. It shows the proposed millage rates that the town of Davie and all their local governments are thinking about setting, and it also shows the proposed amount of property taxes they're going to be asked to pay for this year. And I always tell everybody, again, if you are concerned with the value of your property or not getting every exemption you're entitled to, please contact me by September 19th. We want to make sure that when your tax bill comes out, it accurately reflects your value and you're getting all the tax-saving exemptions that you're entitled to under the law. The next thing I wanted to quickly talk about, Madam Mayor, was where property values are right now. And again, as you'll see, they are pretty high because people are coming from all over the world and they're making Davie their home. And let me give you some examples. If you took all the commercial and residential property and you sold it on the open market in the town of Davie, in 2021, last year, you would have got right about $16.5 billion. Fast forward 1 year, there's been a 16.4% increase in value to about $19.2 billion. That's a significant increase in just 1 year. The taxable value is the value that you're looking at, that you're going to set your millage rate on, which is going to determine the amount of money that you're going to need to provide great services to the people of the town of Davie. And in 2021, the taxable value was right about $11.27 billion. Fast forward 1 year, there's been a 10.78% increase in taxable value to about $12.494 billion. So here's what that means. If you keep your proposed millage rate is about 5.6250, if that's the millage rate that you adopt, it'll bring in an additional $6,840,460 more this year than last year. And something that's very important for the residents to note is the vast majority of people that live in the town of Davie are homesteaded. So what that means is the value that they're taxed on can't go more than 3%. So they're not really the ones that are seeing the brunt of that $6,840,000. the majority of that is being paid by people coming into the town of Davie and paying top dollar for properties, and by the new construction that the town of Davie has, that we put on the tax roll. And with regard to the new construction, there's about $214,800,000 of new construction that's been added to the tax roll. The largest construction project that was added was the HCA Hospital, which was put on for about $73 million. There are 20,733 homestead exemptions here within the town of Davie. You have 918 seniors who receive a low-income senior exemption. You have something that's near and dear to my heart, and that's 198 long-term seniors who get an exemption. I just want to thank you for that, because let me explain how the long-term senior exemption works. To qualify for it, not a lot of people qualify. You have to be over 65 years of age. You had to have lived in your home for 25 years or more. You had to make under $32,561, and the value of your home at the time of your application had to be under $250,000. So not a lot of seniors qualify for that. But the 198 seniors that do qualify for that get to save a lot of money and get to have a better life. It's really a drop in your bucket when it comes to the loss of revenue that you get. And I wanted to bring that up because not every city has adopted that, but the town of Davie has. And that makes me exceptionally proud because it really helps those seniors that are really struggling the most. So thank you all so much for having the foresight to do that. I hope that every city follows the town of Davie's lead and adopts that excellent long-term senior exemption. You also have 142 American Hero totally permanently disabled veterans that pay no property taxes. And you have 4 first responders that are totally permanently disabled that don't pay property taxes here within the town of Davie. And just one other interesting one, you have 3 members of the military that are deployed somewhere else in the world, and they get a significant property tax reduction as a result of their service. You have 19,611 total single-family homes here within the town of Davie. The average assessed value is $381,176. The average taxable value is $335,000. But what's amazing, the average sale price for a single-family home in the town of Davie is $897,420. That is a significant increase from last year. You also have 7,445 condominium parcels here within the town of Davie. You have, with the average assessed value is $135,000. The average taxable value is $114,000, and the average sale price for a condominium parcel right now is $233,060, also a significant increase from last year. The last thing, Madam Mayor and the Town Council, that I'd like to talk about is just something that's really near and dear to my heart and something that's kind of a crusade of mine. You know, unfortunately, South Florida is the title fraud capital of the world. You have some criminals, just some disgraceful, terrible people, and what they do is they walk into the recording divisions for every county in the state of Florida, and they file fake deeds on people's properties, and they take those deeds and they try to extort people for money or mortgage rent or sell their property, and they do it all the time. And the reason it's so easy for them to do it is the recording divisions have a ministerial duty. They have to accept whatever document is filed with them. So you have these criminals that'll walk into the recording divisions, file the fake deeds, and do something nefarious with it. And so we wanted to give the people of Broward County the opportunity to fight the fraud before the fraud occurs. So a little over a year ago, we came up with a great program called Owner Alert. We spent no taxpayer dollars doing it, and it's free to the public. And so if any resident of the town of Davie that hasn't signed up wants to sign up, here's how you do it. If you go to our website at bcpa.net, or you go to our mobile-friendly website, which is web.bcpa.net, you can then click on Owner Alert, and then you type in your name, and you type in your parcel ID number, which you can easily grab from our website, and then you type in your email address. And if we have your email address on file, you're automatically verified. If we don't, we ask that you upload your Florida driver's license or Florida ID. If we don't have that, there are other ways to get verified. And then what will occur is if anybody files any document, legitimate or not, changing ownership of your property, you'll be notified instantaneously so you can fight the fraud before the fraud occurs. We've had about 180,000 Broward County property owners sign up so far, and my goal is, and actually Carol signed up, and so has Judy. Thank you guys very much. My goal is to get every Broward County property owner to sign up because it's there to protect their most important asset, their home. And I just wanted to let the people of the town of Davie know that this is something we take very seriously. So we've actually tried to take cracking down on these fraudsters to another level. And we've actually, in our office, have created a division that's solely responsible with working with law enforcement to create criminal cases and to help prosecute bad people that are doing this to the people of Broward County. And let me give you some examples. We were very successful in working with the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, where we were able to prosecute and convict 2 people that stole millions of dollars worth of properties in Broward County and New York. An interesting fun fact about that is one of the people that was convicted actually ran for the state senate in Broward County. Fortunately, she lost, which is a good thing. We also worked with the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Florida, and we were able to prosecute 2 people who stole millions of dollars of properties. And here's how smart they are. In that case, you had 2 wives. One of the wives worked for one of our hospital districts. The other wife worked in the real estate industry. The wife that worked in the hospital district would find out when people would pass on. She would then give that information to her wife that worked in the real estate industry. And then what she would do was find out if they owned property here and if they had heirs here. And if they owned property here and no heirs, she would then go file fake deeds on the properties. They would steal the properties. They'd sell the properties. They profited in the amount of millions of dollars. Fortunately, they were found guilty, and they're both going to jail for a long time. And something I'm happy about, even though they're a married couple, they'll be spending their time in separate prisons, which is a good thing. Those are just a couple examples. We've also partnered and entered into an interlocal agreement with the state attorney's office for Broward County, where we're helping them build criminal cases that are ongoing right now. And we're about to enter into one, I believe, with the Broward Sheriff's Office. And very soon, I'm so glad your wonderful chief is here, because I'm actually speaking to the Chiefs Association very soon. And I'm hoping that our local PDs for each one of our cities will also work with us as well. I believe that they will, because at the end of the day, we're here to help people protect their most important assets. And also, I want all these criminals to know they're not welcome in Broward County, and if they do it here, we're going to work very hard to put them in jail. With that said, I can go on and on forever. I've had 5 cups of coffee, 2 Red Bulls, and a Diet Coke, but thank you so much, Madam Mayor, for having me today.
Mayor? When
Yeah,
you're done, when you're
yeah.
done.
I just can't say enough about you. Your energy, your enthusiasm, the great job that you're doing, and I've been hearing about the wonderful work you've been doing with that fraud, actually bringing cases to court and convicting people, which I think is the best thing, because once they know that they're going to be on the radar, hopefully they won't even try it. But there are some resourceful people, but again, we encourage every resident to sign up for that program, how important it is. So I want to really thank you for being here. We always
Thank you.
enjoy hearing from you.
Oh,
Carol, did you have a
Mayor.
question?
I just wanted to say something. I've known Mr. Kier.
Marty, always Marty.
Well, I want to be polite. I've lived with him many years. Before he was married, before he was when he was up in Tallahassee. This man I don't know anybody that works harder,
Thank you.
really, and always has a smile on his face. Seriously, you see him, you meet him, he's got a big smile on his face, and it's quite a job that you have, and you do it well. So I want to thank you so much for all you do. So thank you, Marty. Keep it up.
Oh, thank you, Carol. That's so nice of you to say. I really, really appreciate
Well,
that.
after the introduction you gave me Saturday night, I had to reciprocate somehow.
Oh, no, it was,
But thank you so much.
I was so excited. I have to tell you, Carol did such a great job representing the town of Davie at the AFL-CIO ball. She had the cowboy hat on and everything. It was perfect, but it was really wonderful.
And you told everybody, Davie's here, and their representative's wearing a cowboy hat.
Absolutely, and I also told everybody too. Even though I
Don't
live in
look it.
Plantation right now, I will always consider myself a Davie boy. This is my home, a place
That's
that
right.
I love, and I'm very proud of the work that you all do. I really am.
And you have to know that he's the proud father of a teenager.
Which is a very
So
scary
welcome
thing.
Very scary.
Welcome to the life of being a parent of a
beautiful,
teenager.
beautiful
Two beautiful
family.
girls.
Thank you
too.
very much,
Thanks,
Marty.
Thank
Mayor,
you.
We
just-
appreciate, yes.
Just one quick thing. I think Marty definitely gives Bill a run for his money. Bill Ackerman, our budget finance,
Oh, Bill's awesome.
equally talks as fast.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's what he did still.
I think the
That
two
was a
of
good
you
point.
ought to have a race on reading something and
That's a
see
good
who's
point.
faster.
See, the good thing is, if these jobs don't work out for us, auctioneers are. You know,
Definitely.
Thank you,
Well, he's got
Susan.
so much to say, and he wants to get it all in.
I
Yeah.
do.
But
and
you're nice and loud, and I caught everything. So.
So,
thank you, Madam
very
Mayor.
much.
Oh, thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you,
And
Dave.
everybody have a
Take
wonderful
care.
day. Thank you all
You
so
too.
much for
Thanks,
having
Marty.
me.
Say hello
Thanks.
to your family for us.
I will.
Yeah,
Thank
Kelly.
you.
Okey dokey. Going over to the consent agenda. There are no items that need to be tabled or withdrawn, so we won't have that. I'm going to pull from the consent agenda 1, 2, and 3. Vice Mayor, do you have anything to pull? Marla? Carol? Susan? Okay, very good. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda minus 1, 2, and 3?
Motion to approve consent agenda minus 1, 2, and 3.
And there's a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Thank you very much. Number 1 is the National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. We have Dr. Julie Long from Gun Safety Committee member to accept as here.
Lock it up.
Very
I
good.
like that.
Um, And Marlon will read the proclamation.
Thank you, Mayor. Whereas the month of September is nationally recognized as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, and whereas more than 40,000 Americans die by suicide each year, in Florida, a person dies by suicide every 2 hours on average. Suicide in Florida far outnumber homicides, and whereas suicide is a national epidemic costing the lives of 6,000 veterans each year, and it's a leading cause of death for first responders. Firearms are the leading method of suicide in Florida and the most lethal method. Access to a gun triples the risk of death. And whereas the American Academy of Pediatrics, the Children's Hospital Association, and the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry have declared a national emergency in child mental health. And whereas suicide is the second leading cause of death for children, adolescents, and young adults aged 10 to 24 years. And whereas it's critical to recognize the signs of depression that may lead to thoughts of suicide, including speaking about wanting to die, feelings of isolation or hopelessness, increased use of drugs or alcohol, and severe mood swings. And whereas it is critical to recognize the best methods to prevent suicide when a person is in crisis. Ask if the person is thinking of taking their life, keep them safe, and remove their access to lethal means such as poisons, prescription drugs, and firearms. Get them professional help. In Florida, dial 211 or call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255 or text 741-741. And whereas the League of Women Voters of Broward County has provided significant leadership in suicide prevention through community education and the creation of their Lock It Up gun safety program, along with the Florida chapter of American Academy of Pediatrics. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the mayor and town council of the town of Davie do hereby proclaim the month of September 2022 as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Enthusiastically support the mission of Lock It Up by encouraging safe storage of firearms and removal of other lethal means to prevent suicide. Thank you, Mayor.
All right. Would you like to say a few words?
Yes, I'd like to thank the City of Davie and the Town Council for passing this resolution on behalf of the League of Women Voters of Broward County and the Florida chapter of the American Academy of Pediatrics. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, the rate of suicide has gone up in all age groups. Most rapid rise was in adolescents. Now firearms are the leading cause of death in young adults. The Veterans Administration has provided the League with locks. I have some here. If anybody knows someone that's with a gun that's not locked, I'm happy to give it. The veterans recognize what a problem suicide is with it, and they've been very generous in supporting our program. So as a pediatric surgeon that's practiced in this community for almost 30 years, unfortunately, I've seen too often the effects of suicidal thoughts, suicidal behavior, and gun violence on youth. So thank you so much for what you're doing.
God bless you for all your work. We appreciate it. We're going to take a picture. Oh, wow, I like that. Yeah. Okay, number 2 is National Payroll Week, where I have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That's unanimous. Bill Ackerman will be accepting this, and our Vice Mayor will be reading it. Oh, the whole team's here, okay.
Payroll team's here. Thank you very much, payroll team.
Whereas the American Payroll Association sponsors National Payroll Week to highlight the professionalism of the payroll industry and to celebrate the dedicated payroll professionals who work to ensure paychecks are delivered to employees accurately and on time every time. Whereas Davie's payroll professionals engage in complex activities to coordinate, calculate, and pay employee wages, insurance, retirement benefits, workers' compensation, and other benefits, as well as to correctly withhold, deposit, and report federal taxes, retirement contributions, union dues, and garnishes. And whereas National Payroll Week coincides with the week of Labor Day to spotlight the achievements and symbiotic partnerships between America's employees, payroll professionals, and various government agencies. Now therefore it be proclaimed that the mayor and the town council of the town of Davie do hereby proclaim the week of September 5th through the 9th, 2022 as National Payroll Week.
Thank you very much. Bill?
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. Bill Ackerman, your Budget and Finance Director, and I have not had any Red Bull today. Okay, so I've never had Red Bull before, so we're all very lucky. I don't know if I want to see myself on Red Bull. We have over 800 employees in the town of Davie, including yourselves, myself, and everybody in this room. We have to ensure that they're paid timely and accurately on every 2 weeks. These fine folks behind me, we have Crystal, who's our payroll supervisor. We have Ariana, our payroll technician. Margot, who's our part-time payroll assistant. She's not here tonight. Back there, we have Lucy, who actually trained Crystal. So, gotta give her say hi. And Colleen back there, our assistant budget finance director, who works regularly with payroll. But these two fine folks behind me, we're very lucky to have them because we do get paid accurately every 2 weeks. We get paid timely. There's a lot of stuff that payroll includes, and the Vice Mayor read off what's in there. So we're very lucky to have them, and I just want to say thank you to these two fine folks to keeping us clean, straight, and paying us regularly and timely every 2 weeks. So thank you.
Very good, thank you. Okay, number 3 is the Broward Mental Health Summit Day proclamation. Have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. And Mr. Curtin has already moved forward, and very familiar face to all of us. Welcome again to accept the proclamation. And Carol will be reading it. Carol Hatton.
Proclamation. Whereas mental illness affects thoughts, feelings, behaviors, and general interaction with others, and the stigma associated with mental illness must be addressed so that no one feels shame or disgrace in seeking help and treatment. And whereas death every 11 minutes, the number of people who think about death every 11 minutes, the number of people who think about or attempt suicide is even higher. In 2020, an estimated 12.2 million American adults seriously thought about suicide. 3.2 million planned a suicide attempt, and 1.2 million attempted suicides. And whereas in response to the need for identifying and treating mental illness, a grassroots effort was undertaken by the principal mental health providers in Broward County, including county, federal government, private sector, and nonprofit organizations, to join forces in a holistic effort to increase awareness and education by holding an in-person and virtual summit. For more information about the summit, you can visit www.browardmentalhealthsummit.org. Whereas the 5th annual Broward Mental Health Summit, titled Finding Your Balance Through Emotional Freedom and Change, is presented by Memorial Healthcare System, UKG, Castle and Castle Attorneys at Law, Aetna, and the Sheriff's Foundation of Broward County, bringing together the leading mental health providers in South Florida from county, federal government, private practice, nonprofits, and academia to discuss and examine the current issues relating to mental health in Broward County affecting all populations. Whereas everyone wanting to learn about the mental health issues facing our communities, whether you're a healthcare provider, first responder, community leader, business owner, elected official, or just simply a concerned citizen, you'll learn from the free in-person and virtual 5th Annual Broward Mental Health Summit, information tools and a better understanding of the challenge affecting those with mental health issues. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Mayor and Town Council of the Town of Davie do hereby proclaim September 7, 2022, Broward Mental Health Summit Day. In witness thereof, I have set my hand to this 7th day of September. Judy Paul, Mayor. We did that before.
We did that already. Thank you.
Yeah, we did.
I'm ahead of you all this
Oh,
time.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tim,
Thank you
would
so
you
much.
like to say a few words? Yeah.
Yes, thank you. You know, we hear a lot about mental health crisis, But we're seeing it now. We're seeing it here in Broward County. We're seeing it in our schools. We're seeing it in our families. At Memorial, we see it in our EDs every day and every night. Folks who normally wouldn't be coming in are despondent, depressed, anxious beyond the ability to function, it's a big issue now. And I know we have a lot of great nonprofit providers in this community that are tackling the subject matter, but hopefully we see a turnaround soon now that the kids are back in school. The last couple of years really took a toll on people, emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally. And hopefully we could all, develop resiliency and bounce back a little bit at a time, one day at a time. At Memorial, we are expanding. We're expanding our mental health services to Davie. We are working on the completion of a 17,000 square foot behavioral health center just where ACE Education used to be. So it's just south of Sterling on University on the west side.
Yeah.
And we'll certainly let you guys know when it's
That's
finished.
great.
We're building and construction issues. We don't have a hard finish line yet, but when we do have one, we'll certainly let you guys know, let everyone here know, the council and the residents, and we'll have a grand opening shortly after we open.
Excellent.
The Mental Health Summit was today, and it was a great turnout. We had over 550 people, both in person and online. We will have a link once it's polished and cleaned up, and we'll have a link to the 4 sessions that we had presented today, and we'll send it to the town, and if you guys want to put it on the website or wherever. Great sessions, really about the solutions to mental health and mental health issues rather than talking about the diagnosis and those sort of things, just looking at what folks did, the experts in the field, some of the, we had deputies, we had nurses, we had high school students that were panelists today that talked about how they got through the last couple of years and feeling healthy. So we'll certainly share that with you. But on behalf of the entire Mental Health Summit Events Committee, I want to thank you for your support as always. Being a resident since 1993 here in this great town, Davie, I couldn't be prouder, as Marty Kaya said. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very well said. Okay, at this point, we will go on to the public hearing portion of the meeting. Number 18 is the Capital Improvement Program. Mr. Weinthal, would you read the resolution by title?
Yes, Mayor. A resolution of the Town of Davie, Florida, approving the 10-year capital improvements program for the Town of Davie for fiscal years 2023 through 2032, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
This is a public hearing. If any member of the public wishes to speak for or against this item, you can come forward at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Is there any questions or concerns by the council? Seeing none, could we have a motion to approve with a second?
Motion to approve 17 contract.
It's
Second.
18.
18.
Oh, I'm
Capital
sorry. I was,
Capital improvements.
capital improvements, 18. Motion to approve.
Second.
Town clerk, could you do a roll call?
Mayor Paul?
Yes.
Councilmember Hatton?
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Whitman?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. We have a first reading for a code amendment, number 19, with a second and final reading to be held on September 21st. Mr. Weinthal, would you read the ordinance by title, please?
Yes, Mayor. An ordinance of the Town of Davie, Florida, amending Chapter 16, Article 9, Vacation Rentals, Sections 152 of the Code of Ordinances, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Any of the members of the public wish to speak for or against this item? You can come forward at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any questions or discussion by council? Seeing none, it was very simply put forth. Could we have a motion to approve 19 code amendment?
Motion to approve 19 code amendment.
May we have a roll call, please?
Vice Mayor Whitman?
Yes.
Mayor Paul?
Here.
Councilmember,
Yes. Here.
Councilmember Starkey?
Yes.
I don't feel so bad.
Councilmember Hatton?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank
Still
you.
here.
I'm still here, right? Okay, that closes the public hearing portion of the meeting. We have any committee board appointments?
No, yeah.
Public Art Advisory Committee, does anybody have an appointment for that? You know, we had, I got finished reading the Public Art
Yeah, that was good.
master, that was beautifully done. I really
Very nice.
loved all the detail and all the projections and so forth and so on. And I understand there were about 139 people that took part in that participated. And I discussed it with Mr. Lemack. If you don't have any problem, we'd like to reach out to those 139 people and ask any of them if they have any interest in serving on the board. And if so, they can fill out an application and be vetted, and then we have some people to choose from.
Weren't we looking for people with more of an art background? However, not just any resident. That's where my rub's been, trying to find somebody who actually had artistic, I mean, I know people in the art world, but they don't live in Davie.
Yeah, Mr. Lemack, you want to respond to that?
Yes, that's correct. We're going to send out the criteria that you're all looking for, and hopefully those people that will take the opportunity to apply that meet the criteria will go through the clerk's office.
Good
And then
idea.
it'll be brought back to you.
Okay.
Okay, great,
All
yeah,
right.
with that criteria.
Very good. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Good.
He's got the okay on that then. No committee recommendations, no old business, no business. We all know the next meetings, we've been repeating them over and over, special hearing, assessment, special assessments hearing, next Wednesday at noon, and then the 21st is our second budget hearing. And then we only have one meeting. Do we need to, reminds me, I saw that the CRA meeting is still on the schedule for the 19th. Not the 19th, the first meeting in October. Did we ever cancel that officially?
Yes, you did so at your last CRA meeting.
Oh, okay. Because it still is on my calendar, but not as canceled, but the town council meeting is canceled.
Okay, we'll
so-
get with Grace to update that.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's, was it Yom Kippur, I think. Okay, it's time for comments. I'm going to start tonight because I got a lot of stuff. The first thing I want to do is commend Mr. Lemack and his staff and Mr. Ackerman and his staff for a great job putting the budget together. We know how difficult it is, and I think that when you start working on the budget, you know, the month after you approve the present budget, it just is an awareness that it is a long and tedious proposition, and everybody, including all the residents, have to know how much work that goes into that we are so careful and so conscious about being the best that we can be and spending our money properly for all of our residents. So I want to thank you all again for doing a great job. I appreciate it. I think we've discussed this before, but I just wanted to make sure you all approved of this before I signed it. I was asked to we were asked to support the City of Plantation's Midtown Bridge. You know, we had discussed this before, proposing construction of new bridge connection over the South Florida Water Management New River Canal between westbound 84 and Southwest 17th Street. And it's consistent with the Metropolitan Transportation Roadway Needs Plan, and so I just wanted to know if there's anybody that had any objection to me signing the letter in support. Yeah, I think we had talked about it before, but I just wanted to make sure, so it's signed. There you go. The other thing that I wanted to ask, The Planning Council, sent out a while, and they've repeated it, that the LUPA for the Monarch landfill expansion is on. And they want to know if anybody wants to make any comments that have to be submitted by September 16th. And I wanted to ask if the council felt that they wanted to make a statement, or if we should have a letter sent. I know just even though it's not in our backyard, just the thought of increasing a landfill when we're trying to find alternate ways of solving our waste problems. I mean, it just seems like it's an uphill battle, so I didn't know whether anybody, Mr. Lemack, do you, or Mr. Holsey, I know you're probably following this. Is this something that you think that either one?
At this point, I would recommend that the town not take a position, and the reason why is that it's a challenging scenario where we don't know what the next step with the solid waste district is going to be, and with not knowing where that's going, that the county may have a need for that landfill, even though it's not favorable from an environmental standpoint. Unfortunately, the existing wheelabrator cannot handle all of the county tonnage, so you'd be shipping that out of the county, which, may be more challenging. So.
Okay. Just a good question. Got a good answer. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, I get some very interesting letters, and I made some copies. I want one to go. Share this with. They actually only made 3, so share it with Michelle. This is a letter that, What? One's for you and one's for Susan. It's the same thing. I had copies made. This was a letter from a woman in Davie, a homeowner. She wanted to thank us for honoring Davie's devoted civic leaders of past decades, including Kathy Cox and remote care at the special July ceremony. I'm also writing to ask for your personal oversight in replacing a drain pipe that impacts the Davie Horse Trail and the residents of Davie West. I haven't even started yet, and my time's already up. And the letter explains it, and she thinks the installation of a new drain pipe with an inexpensive flap gate would help solve this problem. And she sends also a letter from the Broward, Central Broward Water Control, where they give you a picture of the pipe and shows the corrosion and the rust on it. So I'll give this to the clerk, and then she can share it with you, Mr. Lemack. So we'd like you to take a look at it. This was a really nice letter that I received from Jose Perez. I know that most emails received by residents to the town of Davie are most probably associated with some type of grievance, more so than appreciation. This is why I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to the town of Davie and its dedicated employees. On Wednesday, 8/24, I came into information of a potentially volatile commercial party planned to occur at a private residence located on 20th Street in West Davie. I immediately emailed the town mayor and code division. To my surprise, I was emailed back that they would address my concerns. The mayor emailed me back that police and code were assigned the task. On Friday, while driving home, I noticed Davie's signboards on both sides of 20th Street warning that the event was canceled per order of the Davie Police Department. And he goes on to explain it a little more. If it were not for the quick response, the effectiveness of the code department, and the commendable police presence, I am certain there would have been a situation that would have escalated to a level of lawlessness and burden to the town of Davie. So I really appreciate, we appreciate when we get these commendations from residents. And I know when the police were able to get on it immediately, the resident, I mean, this is, and I mentioned it to him when I answered the resident. I said, it's residents like you who find this information before the event and alert us so that we can take the appropriate action. We can't be everywhere. We're not on the social media and see these things sometimes. So it's very important that these individuals do this. And I want to commend Mr. Perez for taking that initiative and informing us so that we could prevent, and thank the police for their presence. And the signs were great. When I went home that night, I drove by and there wasn't a soul around. It was beautiful. Thank you very much. So give that to the... I just want to thank Vice Mayor Michelle Whitman for, she gave me this information that she had nominated me for an award for the Municipal Official Lifetime Achievement Award sponsored by the Florida League of Cities. That was very, very nice, and I appreciate the support that was given for that. Unfortunately, they chose someone else, but it still just warmed my heart to thank the Vice Mayor and the other council members for their thoughtfulness, and I appreciate it very much. Let's see, what else? Last thing is the, I had something else I forgot to bring. Anyway, I want to mention that the next event for the Davie Jazz Society is on September 24th at Park 34, the apartments. This one's going to be indoors. And the people are noted on the web page. Let me mention too, that's at the same time as another event that we're having at the sports complex with the movie. It's a movie night, but this doesn't start until 7. So if you're not going to go to the movie, you can go listen to some music. And also October 15th, there's on the ones that are going to be there at Park 34. It's a doo-wop group. They sing 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s music. Say, huh? No, that's the Beatles. That's the Beatles. That's coming at another time. And I'd also like to remind everybody that Friday and Saturday is the Orange Blossom, Miss Orange Blossom contest, pageant. Friday, it's the Mr. and Mrs., and that starts at 11 o'clock here at the Multipurpose Center. And Saturday, it's the young ones from 2 to 18, and that starts at 2 o'clock. And that's going to be another thing because we have the event over at the Old Davie School that day, and they're going to be specifically doing their presentations and the speeches at about 1 o'clock. It goes on from 10 to 5. So, I'm going to be moving around a lot that day because I'll be there at 1 to do that, and then I'll kind of come over to the pageant about 2:30. So we have a lot going on. It's stuff that we really love to do, and I hope I didn't take anything away from anybody else, and I'm sorry I took so long. But I made up for the fact that we didn't have any public comments. Yeah. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. As we transition out of summer and head into fall, the Betty Booth Roberts Park pool is closed. The pool is open seasonally, and residents enjoy the last pool days for the season last weekend. The good thing is that the Pine Island Aquatic Center is open year-round. for those who want to take a quick swim or participate in various water activities and training. Don't forget to follow the safety swim tips to keep you safe as you enjoy the water. Finally, Mayor, I would like to wish all the September babies a happy birthday. That's all. Thanks.
Mr. Lewis? Thank you, Mayor. If I can get that to turn on. As you may be aware, we're in the height of hurricane season. To ensure that we're always prepared, our staff recently held a hurricane tabletop exercise where we reviewed and updated our hurricane preparedness plans in the event that it is needed. I hope that everyone else is doing that and getting ready for the hurricane season as we're starting to see some activity. But I'd also like to remind all our residents and contractors or those looking to expand in that field, now is a great opportunity to stock up on needed tools during the 2022 Tool Time Sales Tax Holiday. The tax relief ends on Friday, September 9th, and is applicable to qualifying tools and equipment, including power tools, work boots, toolboxes, and more. Hope everyone takes advantage of that. And I just want to make a quick note, too, tonight that I was glad that we were able to renew all of our lobbyists that have worked for the town, because I wanted to say how much I enjoyed working with Ron Book and Dave Eric's office and Becker and Polikoff. They have been just really, really good people to work with, kept us all really informed, and it's been able to work with them for a few years now, and it's been a really enjoyable relationship, and I'm just glad that we were able to re-up those contracts. Thank you, Mayor.
Carol?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I have a few things, quite a few things, actually. We had a League of Cities luncheon over the old Davie School, and it looked absolutely beautiful, and I'd like to thank all those that worked on it, prepared the centerpieces, prepared everything that had to go. It was beautiful. I think everybody would say it was really lovely. They worked very hard on it. I'd like to thank everybody who does the cooking and serving at our Veterans Breakfast, which is here. We hold it now in the gym, not in the little room over there. It's gotten bigger, and everybody that helps out, Jeff and Chad and everybody that works at Kevin, everybody that pitches in and cooks it and serves it, it's so well deserved, and the veterans really enjoy it. It's really nice. Thank you. I want to remind people, although we've been in school for about 2 weeks now, to watch for school zone signs and don't speed and watch those buses, because you'll get a ticket, and it's not fun to get a ticket that costs that much, and you're also putting people's children at danger, so be careful. Now, a few other things. This Saturday, as the mayor said, is the Old Davie School Festival. I'm going to take a little kudos here for myself. I've been serving as the vice chair of the Broward Housing Council for a couple of years now. I've been reelected I was reelected this past Friday to continue to be the vice chair of the Broward Housing Council, so I really enjoy doing that. We're working very hard on affordable housing. Then the last thing I want to share is, as Marty said, last Saturday was the AFL-CIO Gala, the Union Gala, and someone said to me, "Oh, check the journal. You know, most galas have a journal. It's where they make all money." And he said, "Check the centerfold." The fire union, our fire union, took out the whole centerfold, both pages. I have it here. I can't show you all. It's with our pictures and a whole thing. And I'm just going to quickly read. It says, Davie Professional Firefighters, IAFF, Local 2315, and its 180 members would like to congratulate our council members on their re-election. We truly appreciate all the leadership and support they show to the working men and women who serve the residents, businesses, and travelers who are part of this great community. I just wanted to thank our firefighters for that. It was very special to be the centerfold of the journal. So they made a real nice, with our pictures, and this side had. What? I know you can't. Well, I'll bring it for the next meeting. We'll hold it up. So, but it was a very nice gesture on their part. It was not necessary, but it was something that was really appreciated, and I want them to know that I think I can speak for my mayor and the whole council that it was a really nice gesture, and we appreciate it.
Very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I wanted to read that into the record, Mayor. I hope you don't mind.
Good.
And I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Susan?
Yeah, first, congratulations on the housing. We need some affordable and attainable housing, so we're working on that, I know. So congratulations. The Florida League of Cities held their annual in the past summer, and they swore in their new officers as well as their new board members, and I am proud to say that I was reelected to the Florida League of Cities Board of Directors. The Florida League of Cities has over, 600 or some odd, I don't know, municipalities that are, 612 municipalities that are members. And so it's really an honor. I was also appointed to the Florida Municipal Loan Council again, and the Florida Municipal Loan Construction Trust. I know it's a mouthful. And the Federal Action Strike Team, which means I have to go and work on a lot more federal issues again, as we all do. And like Marlon said, our lobbyists can't be any better. I mean, they're fabulous to work with. And they've really helped navigate so much of this, even through the pandemic, when there's been legislative issues that we can't be there in Washington. They've been able to, and they have been very good at that, and including working with the League of Cities and the Florida League of Cities. We also, at the Florida Broward League of Cities, had elected new presidents, and as you got to meet them at our Board of Directors meeting at the Old Davie School, it was very, very nice to have had that honor to host it. And I thank again Mr. Lemack for allowing us to do that, and Cheryl for everything that her and our A-team in administration, Grace and Arlene, and here our own Leona right here. I want to thank them all for what they did with that as well. I want to ask a favor. We've had an issue ongoing with a tree in the, and I know Phil has looked it up, and it's a state-owned property, and Rick and I have been working on it to see if we could replace that dead tree at the entrance of Forest Ridge, and it's a state property, and according to the HOA, they said go ahead and do it. So I know that Mr. Lemack, we've been waiting for the president of the HOA to finally come on board with this, and her concern was always over the maintenance of it. And I said, would you rather look at a dead tree that's been there for over a year and a half, or plant a nice new green thing? So we can move forward with that, and I just wanted to let you know, and to the record, that's why I'm announcing it here, so it's preserved to the record that we can go forward with that dead tree. The dead tree was actually going to be donated by one of our, I guess, landscape partners. I don't know where they got the tree from, but I guess he was willing to do that because of Forest Ridge. So just to let you know, Joseph has been working over the past couple of years with that. So I wanted to move that one forward. And if there's anything else I need to do, let me know. Other than that, budget process, spot on once again. Thank you again. And I look forward to working with everybody another 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Lemack?
Thank you, Mayor. In 2017, following the horrific Pulse nightclub tragedy, Chief Downey, along with representatives from various professions across our nation, including fire, police, FBI, hospital personnel, and psychologists, just to name a few, were appointed to what's known as the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA 3000 Active Shooter Hostile Event Response Committee. Chief Downey has served on this committee since its inception, and I wanted to share with you that she was recently appointed as the committee chair. This committee identifies hazards and assesses the vulnerability to planning, resource management, incident management at a command level for first responders, to name a few. Chief Downey brings exceptional leadership to this cross-functional team of professionals, and I'm sure you'll join me in congratulating her on another significant achievement. So congratulations, and thank you, Chief. That's all I have this evening, Mayor. Thank you.
Mr. Weinthal?
I have nothing, Mayor. Thank you.
Well, in that case, if there's no objections, we're adjourned. I do that so well.